Hello and welcome to the midlife where Tracy and I have a psychic clothing connection.
One day you're going to get to see all of this amazing magic. But this is hilarious. We keep showing up in the same outfit. We're cute.
You know, that actually happened to me once in a much more dramatic fashion. So stupid, embarrassing. But I used to like to shop at the Guest store in high school. Did you shop at the Guest store?
I worked at the Guest store.
Of course you did. You probably sold me the marbly colored tie-dyed jeans that were like pink and blue, kind of.
I for sure did.
Yes. in the Galleria.
No, I actually worked in the Woodland Hills store, but I did frequent the Galleria store. They used to ship me over there sometimes. Yeah.
Yes. So my best friend and I had bought the same jeans, of course, with a vow, like never to wear them on the same day. And then, I mean, honestly, just get your barf bags ready. My sorority walked out to her sorority freshman year.
Oh, no.
And I showed up and we were wearing the same jeans.
Oh, no.
I know. It was so fun.
And they're not just like blue jeans.
No.
So it's not like you can get away with it.
No, they were marbly colored, pink and blue, and hilarious.
God.
But now
I'm so
at least
sorry.
we're just showing up in black turtlenecks. So, you and I.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, good times. I mean, we actually haven't spoken in 3 days, which is so weird for us.
It is kind of a little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah. So
I was like, she must be having a good time. She must be having a great weekend. That's what I kept thinking.
It was a busy weekend. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was busy too, but you know, it's holiday time, so it is. I feel like it's busy, and I keep laughing at myself that I feel like, you know, on the busiest morning, why don't you choose to add like doing laundry, and then school decides it's a snow day, and I was like, oh, okay, that too. And it's just been nonstop. And then my poor child, it was the day of the dress rehearsal for the holiday play. So she was already dressed and super psyched about her day. And then she's the only one that cried about a snow day, right? Because everyone's waiting for this to happen. Apparently it hasn't happened since 2016, but she cried.
Right.
So I did my quick mom, like, hold on, just call some friends in the neighborhood and see if their kid's also crying, and let's put on a show. Like,
Oh, I love it.
So instead of doing the 19,000 other things I was so ready to do on Monday morning, or whatever morning this is.
Yeah.
I got to have a cup of tea and watch my kid and some of our friends put on a holiday show.
Yay. So fun.
I know.
Did you know Snow Day was on the menu? Did you even know that could happen when you moved there?
I knew, I mean, I have heard of such myths.
Right.
There have been rumors.
Right.
But I didn't know what it takes and what defines a snow day compared to a day that is snowing.
Right.
We were laughing because we've been to school on actual days where it is snowing.
Yeah.
So I think it's about how much it dumps overnight. And I have now consulted with all the people I know that have lived here longer, or most of them. Definitely my touchstone, Chrissy. Thank you for all of your advice. And she, I was like, does one drive in this, or does one laugh at all the people that are driving in this and think they're out of towners? I just need a little help. And she was like, no, you need to learn, you know. And but it's so in the neighborhoods they don't clean the streets.
Oh no, they don't get plowed.
Not in the neighborhoods. So on the main drags and all the regular streets, you're totally fine because they do that. But so, you know, so apparently we're going to go out later and do donuts and see what it's like to drive around.
Wow. Please be careful.
Yeah. I know. She's like, give it a roll. I'm like, all right. Yeah. I for being a newbie, I did cancel anything that felt like it was more out of the neighborhood. I was like, I don't need to do that today.
No.
There are more important things.
You don't need to.
Yeah. So that's been my silliness so far.
Yeah. Well, you know, nothing ever goes according to plan. I think we've proven that.
I know, but just the stress of like the shift.
Yeah.
The pivot, the allowing yourself to show up fully for whatever needs to be shown up for in that moment, even though there is a laundry list of like commitments or connection, things you've hoped and desired to have your day look different. It's definitely a dance, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, I've been having that conversation with myself all morning because I woke up cranky. There's just no two ways about it. And it was because of all the things that need to get done, because it is that I know we're talking and it's December 12th and you're not listening to this until later in December. But for where Tracy and I right now, it's like leading up to the holidays and we still have little people in school. And I have big people coming home and there's just like so much going on. So I woke up super cranky about basically that everybody's moving my cheese. Like I'm having a temper tantrum, right? About like the things I want to do versus all the things that I'm going to have to do. And so I've been working all morning on shifting that within myself. Cause remember my word is going to be flexibility. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, yeah, well, so own it, be flexible. There's a lot going on and it's all going to work out, because I have to make, an entire pot of bolognese tomorrow for Tyler's family tree presentation. At 8:00 in the morning. And, a child came home from college last night and decided to put his suitcase right where the dog could not figure out how to get around it to go to her dog door. So she peed in the living room. And, and by the way, I started his laundry this morning that I don't think has been done since he came home for Thanksgiving. So, it's all the things. And then I'm in charge of hot chocolate for the party on Friday. And, and I want to talk about my blood work that came back that also sent me for a loop this weekend.
Oh,
I know. Okay. So that was my other thing to address this morning. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just thinking that, of course, like we do, right? It's like so much on our plates already. And then you're the one making the bolognese and then signed up for the party. And like, I've done a bunch of those things too. So like there's a holiday party and there's like the school play and the teacher was super psyched that we're Jewish. So he wanted to know if we wanted to share our traditions. And of course, that sounds so exciting. So of course, now I have 40 pounds of potatoes and onions because now I've added making fresh latkes for the whole class for Friday. Also.
Oh dear!
and it's just one of those things where I just laugh and I was already signed up to bake a bunch of things for the Christmas party and now I'm hosting a Hanukkah party. And it's going to be so much fun, but also what have I done?
Well, and why don't we make things easy for ourselves, right? So like, why aren't you just going to Trader Joe's and buying the frozen box of potato pancakes and just bringing them sour cream and applesauce, right? But no.
Well, because ew. And why wouldn't I want them to like, if they're going to one-time experience what we think is so fun and fabulous about our, traditions and share the stories and share the menorah and share the candles and share the guilt and everything. Like they're not going to taste disgusting latkes. They're going to have my amazing latkes. Whether they like them or not is their thing. But,
right.
So yeah, I feel that pressure. Like, no, it needs to be my best game.
Yeah, no, and it does. And your kid's expecting you to show up. But Tyler keeps saying to me, so you're going to make the bolognese? Yes. But when are you going to make it? Probably like Monday, and like the logistics of it. And of course, I'm having the same feeling that you are. I'm in charge of the hot chocolate for Friday, but I'm not going to just bring packets in hot water. Like I'm going to do it with milk and, good cocoa and marshmallows and fill up the gigantic, canister thing I have to dispense it.
Of course you are.
Right. But so we don't make things easy on ourselves. And what's that about? Like, I guess just I want it to be great for him. I want him to be like, yeah, my mom did that for us.
Yeah, I love to. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it full on. Like, don't sign up unless you're like into it. And
right.
Ready to show up and put on your best game face, right?
Yeah. So we have a lot of mommying.
I want it to be special. Yeah, lots of mommying. And on top of it, like all the holiday things that need to get shipped and, and, you know, like all the presents and all the little thoughts and all, you know, even taking a second to stop and be able to think about those things. I mean, I have to be honest, not every year that has that happen, because this year, you know, time of year rolls so fast that it takes a lot of thought. And I think as women and as moms, we're the ones that like do the 10-step thinking before things happen. And so it's a lot of 10 steps in many directions at this time of year. So I don't know. I'm just feeling everybody. I was having that moment this morning. I was like, I need to breathe. I need to breathe. And I suggest a really good breathing hack, which is to light something that smells amazing in your house, or spray something that smells amazing, aromatherapy or a candle or something, just so you can't help yourself but go, it smells good. And it sort of forces the breath. And so I have candles everywhere right now in my house. So I was like, I need to shift some energy in here today and make sure that there's that. So that's my little hack for the morning.
No, it's a good one. Yeah, because I'm definitely feeling that same way, just like really harried with the list of things I have to do, and really trying to kind of smack myself upside the head and go, hey, this is like great stuff you get to do. How about enjoying it instead of complaining about it? How about
for sure
being, you know, grateful that I don't have a job that's 9 to 5 with a boss being like, what, you can't take Tuesday off to go, you know, make bolognese for the class. Yes. So I think a lot of that is switching it all around and acknowledging, it's a lot, it's busy, but we can take care of all of it. And if I don't stop to enjoy it, I'm going to resent it. So that's where I am this morning.
Yeah, having your girlfriends that totally get it and being able to say, oh my God, did you take on too much too? Yeah, okay. Like just kind of like laughing about it and supporting each other. I know you even in the neighborhood, because, you know, we were having a snow day. So it's like, all right, who needs to go where? You know, it's like joining together and being able to like have that moment of just like letting some air out of the balloon, you know, just before it helped diffuse it a little bit. So sometimes just need a little extra support, and knowing that, you're human and you're awesome and you are handling all of that, and just to be seen. So we're going to see you today and say, we so get it, and killing it, and try to step back and enjoy it. Like you just said, take a moment to go, wow, I'm so lucky this is all in my life.
Yes.
And I have someone to laugh with about how hard it feels sometimes.
How much it all kind of sucks too.
50 suck, 50 great.
50 suck, 50 great. Okay. Got to make that t-shirt.
Yeah. So you had a busy weekend. Did you have lots of fun?
We did have lots of fun. Tyler's holiday show was Saturday, so that was really fun and cute. And he did a great job. Their class did a great job. It was very entertaining. And because it's elementary school, like there's like a pre-TK and a kindergarten that do their thing. It's beyond hilarious. Yeah. And
love it.
Oh, good. Somebody at my door. Why?
Because.
Yeah. And so when we had all the grandparents and like managing that, like, you know, so that was a lot. And everybody, that was the whole ticket thing I told you about. Like, when do we show up, and are there the tickets? And so I told my parents to be there at 1:10. We got there at 12:58. They were already parked. So they were like ready.
Yeah. Making sure they were there at 12:10.
Yeah, no, it was, they were probably a half hour early, but that's okay. So we saw the show. It was great.
To make
and then, we rushed off to a super fun bar mitzvah. So that was a fun evening. And Tyler danced his little Tashi off all night. That was highly entertaining.
So fun.
Did get the call later that night that some people had gotten sick. So I'm kind of waiting. Well, I'm not waiting because I'm not going to get it. It probably wasn't food poisoning. It probably was a virus, but I've just decided that we're not getting it. So we're 3 days in, or 2 days in. So fingers crossed on that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And yesterday I went to a birthday party for a friend. I knew nobody else there. So that was,
how do you do in that situation?
Generally, I would say it makes me very nervous, but I just decided not to like be invested in any of it. I didn't, and to just go and experience and, you know, make conversation or whatever. And it was actually, it was entertaining, you know, not necessarily my people, but still fun, you know?
So it shifted your anxiety just to like go, don't be attached to the anxiety of it kind of, and just go see what's there.
Yeah.
And
so
it worked.
And it was fun. And I met interesting people and it was good. But it was, you know, and it was, not somewhere that I frequent and not anybody I knew. So, and I think we all kind of feel that way. I, you know, get a little nervous to go into new situations. I don't think that's particularly abnormal.
No, I am actually thrilled to hear that even came up for you, because you're so good in those situations, and I feel like you could talk to anyone and pull their life story out of them. And
yes, which I did.
Yeah,
it doesn't come without effort, though.
It feels like it comes without effort, so I'm kind of happy to hear that you're human and it does have effort behind it.
Yeah. And the other thing I was really conscious of was I didn't want my friend whose birthday it was, I didn't want to feel like she had to babysit me. Mm-hmm. And I did want to talk to her. We haven't seen each other in a while, so I was trying to be really mindful of, like, this is, you know, she's got a lot of people to attend to here, and, you know, I'm going to go make other friends. And so it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And but I did like having life hack somewhere that I had to be. Or at least maybe if I didn't have that actual real place that I had to be, maybe the lesson is like have that in your back pocket, where you have to go, because I was very happy when it was time for me to go, which was meet my family at dinner because Aiden had flown in last night. So,
nice.
Yeah,
I do think isn't it funny how we need that in place instead of being able to say I've had enough and gracefully excuse ourselves.
But also it was very comforting for me to know that I had that.
Yeah, it's supportive, but I think it's so interesting that we like don't give it to ourselves in a way when we're done and we're full up or we're ready to move on. Can we just say, so when I was single, my friend Jenny and I, we used to call like little Jimmy or something like that. Like everyone our friends who had kids had an excuse to get out of everything and leave everything and da-da-da. And we were the ones that were like expected to show up and do all the pre-stuff and hang out forever because we had no lives. I think is what.
Of course not. Why would you have a life if you don't have a spouse and a child? Why are you on this planet?
Right, and it was so we made this joke once. It was like, oh, you know what, little Jimmy is not feeling well. I just got the call and we got to run, you know. And then we started using it all the time just for ourselves, right? We never told anyone, but for ourselves, we were like, oh, I think little Jimmy just called. Like, okay, and we would joke about it all the time, like, oh shoot, last minute can't make it because little Jimmy came down with something, you know. It's like that would have been acceptable, but if we just decided we didn't feel up to it today and we had called our friend, they would be like devastated.
Right.
The worst people. And it was such a funny thing. And so she just called me the other day and she goes, I feel like I need to pull out the little Jimmy thing. It's like your kids are too old now or something and you can't do it, or she doesn't have little ones. So, you know, it was really funny how there is that thing that we can put in place to comfort ourselves, to say it's okay. You get to choose, you get to leave, you get to, I think it's funny.
It is funny, but I do think it's because you're sparing another person's feelings, right? Because I wouldn't want to be like, well, I'm done here because I don't want to talk to anybody, or I'm bored, or I'm ready to go, which was not the case. I'm just saying, like, what you're worried what the other person's going to think, instead of you just being like, I'm ready to go. So
I know, but don't we also say that it is never our responsibility what the other person thinks? It's just ours, right? That's how they take it. So you can say, like, I've had a lovely time and I need to go. You know?
Right.
It's like,
sure. But there's a happy medium, too, of, like, also being considerate of other people's feelings, I think. And that wasn't the case last night. So.
Right. But I think it's an interesting conversation, because so you need to lie to be considerate. That's what you're saying?
Often, yes.
Got it. I am so fucking doing this wrong. More lying. There's the t-shirt. Be nicer. More lying.
Definitely not. Definitely not. No. You make an excellent point. I'm saying in this situation, it was comforting to know that I did have a time where I was going to leave.
And I think it's great.
That boundary felt good for me. That's all I'm saying.
I totally agree.
Yes.
I just think it's fun to pull it apart and look at it and see, like, we could just give ourselves like an hour.
Yeah. But I actually was very proud of myself because I do think that other iterations of me would have thought I was being a bad mom by not being at the airport to get Aiden. But I was like, you know what? It's my friend's birthday. I was invited to go somewhere different and new. And I'm all about saying yes. And I did have a moment of conversation with myself, like, it will be fine if Dave and Tyler pick him up at the airport and I meet them for dinner. Like, that's going to be just fine. I told him ahead of time, hey, I'm going to meet you at dinner, but I'm going to my friend's birthday. And he was like, oh, cool, great. Like, he was legitimately happy for me. Mom's got a life.
Gosh, Mom's got a life. And how funny how Mom has to talk herself through that. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right? How hard we are on ourselves. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I really did have that moment. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, good for you for stretching yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah. How hard do you mom?
How hard do you mom, and how hard are you on yourself about how you mom?
It's funny that you bring that up because I did meet this one woman at the party last night, and she just had this like cool energy, and I loved her, and she was funny, and we had a funny conversation. And I said to my friend, the hostess, I was like, I love your friend. And she's like, oh, and she's just been the best mom. She was always on the PTA, and she did this and she did that and she did that. And I could see like, maybe there was like a tinge of regret in my friend's voice that this woman had been more active in these things. And it wasn't the time or place that I just wanted to be like, that's not what makes you a good mom, and you're an amazing mom. But again, it just speaks to all of those benchmarks that we hold ourselves to and checking of boxes like, did you fulfill the requirements? Did you pick up your child every time at the airport? Well, then you're a bad mom.
Yes.
Right?
Or at school, or, I'm just talking about someone, especially when you're a working mom too, it's like you think you're not working hard enough because you want to be with your kid, and you're thinking you're not momming hard enough because you have to work, and so much guilt and so much underbelly of stress and what we do to ourselves, instead of saying, like, while we're at work, we're killing it, we're being awesome, and then when we show up here, we're showing up, and when we need a timeout, we're also awesome. And it's a lot to navigate around how we feel about ourselves and whether we're doing it well enough.
Yeah. And I just think like in that moment of honesty too, it's sort of that like judgment of others, in this case, positive, like she admired what this woman had done, which, yeah, I mean, absolutely. But the end result wasn't that made her a good or bad mom or any judgment on her relationship with her children. I just thought it was just kind of interesting in that moment that we do these benchmarks. Anyway.
And the flip side is also those people inspire us to, I think we find little inspirations from all the other women of like, oh, that's neat how they do that, or that's neat how they mom that way, or maybe that's not natural to me. This is how I would, and I think there's some kind of celebration of how other moms mom too. Yeah. That I love to find those little gems in each other.
Yeah, I think there was also admiration for the woman. But, I had to sign Tyler up for baseball tryouts this morning. And it takes you to this page, like, do you want to volunteer? Like, do you want to check people in? Do you want to? And for a moment, I was like, I should. And then I was like, but I don't want to. And I was like, nope.
Good for you.
And I was like, so I don't want to be the checker-inner.
Good for you. Actually, checking in with your own gut. Is it a yes or is it a no?
Yeah. Why would I be doing that? I don't want to. so that's
not right now. Yeah.
Instead, we're going to go to lunch before the tryout. I'm not going to have to be somewhere that I don't want to be.
Fun.
Yeah. So as much as I'm saying yes to everything, I'm also being really careful about saying no.
So good. Yeah. Checking in. when it's a yes and when it's a no.
Yes. Anyway. All right. Well, today was a yes for me. I did miss you over the weekend.
I missed you too. I'm glad you had a fun weekend though.
Thank you. I'm also glad it's over.
Totally. On to the next.
All right. So if you're struggling with your list of holiday obligations, just know we see you and offer a little encouragement to see what part of that you can flip to I get to instead of I have to. Because we're working on it too.
Together we are.